So obviously I haven't been shooting much over the last, several weeks as far as like going out in public and things like that. But I did take a drive a few days ago and just took some images that I thought looked really cool. Um, and I wanted to kind of bring you guys along that journey of editing and looking at the images on the computer and kind of just going through that process together. A lot of these images are not ones that I would just normally share, but just for the sake of, uh, bringing you guys in on a little bit of, what I do, I thought it'd be cool to do that. Let's go with number one. Here's the first one. It's this image of the Alamo Theater in Jackson. It is pretty much abandoned, but it was really, I guess, really prominent in its time. I'm not really sure. Just FYI, I am using Negative Lab Pro to edit my scans, and right now I'm kind of seeing that it's a little too. I think it needs to be a little warmer, so I'm gonna maybe add some warms in there, maybe take some blues out, just kind of move stuff around and see where stuff looks like and how stuff goes. I don't really know what a lot of these buttons do. I just kind of, I'm trying to, I try to acknowledge what the issues are with the photos and then remove those issues. So I really like Negative Lab Pro. I like the versatility. I typically just keep it on auto color, but I do sometimes play around with these. This film I think was a Fuji, but I don't like how the Fuji makes it a little too green, so I just kind of keep it on that neutral and maybe put it on that warming. And then now I'm thinking not because it's a little too warm. But I like that because this is the morning sun. So the morning sun on brick always has a kind of a reddish feel to it. And if you look right here, you're gonna see, back out a little bit. You're gonna see scratches. I'm not worried about those right now. If I ever printed this photo, I would totally get the scratches out. Let's go to the next one. So here's another one, the same light, kind of the same street. Again, pulling up Negative Lab Pro here to edit. I really like how easy Negative Lab Pro makes that. And then, yeah, I think that looks about done. And then we'll hit apply. This photo, same street. I really wrestled with the crop on this photo because part of me thinks that I should crop out this light and just have an image like that. But also part of me really liked having that light because it's like an anchor, but it also kind of feels like a tangent. I don't know, let's just take it out. Yeah, let's just be honest, that's probably the better option there. And then I'll probably do the same thing. A lot of these scans might just have just a little too much blue in the shadow, a little too much greens and blues in the shadows, so I've kind of moved those towards magenta, but not too much. Obviously this is a sad photo because it's an abandoned building, but what else can you say? I love this image. This is on the inside of a like an old diner that once was. This is definitely like a shareable photo to me. I love the highlights on the stool. I love the way you can see the coffee pot in the back that obviously hasn't been turned on in goodness, decades. So kind of play around with these a little bit. I don't want to change it too much, but really, a lot of your edits that you make with film are in the color temperature. I like this photo a lot. It's a little colorful. There's really is something about the way that lens renders trees that just makes me, gosh. I've put this lens on a digital camera a few times, and I'm just not really into it. All right, next photo. This is a part of the sunrise. I love the way you have one tree in the center, kind of taking all the hard light out of it, and then you have these branches up here coming through and just kind of meeting that tree there. Like I said, I've already kind of edited these a little bit, but I'll kind of show you kind of my process. Again, the way I edit and the way my colors are is something that I'm just not great at in my own mind, and so I'm trying to get better at this, but I do like the way this is, so I'm gonna leave it just like that. A nice mural on the side of a school. My wife used to actually teach at this school. It's a good little quote. Regardless of what you believe about your political affiliations, it's a good quote, you know, and it's a nice mural. So, let's see. I think I'm gonna leave this image as it is because I like it. So this image is kind of weird. It's kind of just like a light play. I think the reason I took this photo was mainly because of the light, but it's also kind of an interesting, you know, an interesting composition because you have a lot of just stuff going on, and it really does look like quarantine. It really does look like nobody's, you know, walked here in a long time. Some of the edits I made here that were really helpful were I took the greens out of the mids. This is where, and the reds down too. So it originally kind of looked like this, kind of had too much of that, and so I just brought that down, and then it starts looking like real life. And so that was kind of my process there. Just keep it, you know, you want things to look as real as possible. And as far as this tone setting right here, if you notice that it's weird in every single photo, it's just because I literally don't have a process. I just figure out what works for each photo. And so now I'm going to hit cancel because I don't want to do anything weird to that photo. I think I might just like straighten these lines just a little bit and then call it. I like this photo. And sometimes with Lightroom, I'll use a white background too, just to make sure like I'm looking at the photo like I'm probably going to see it printed if I do print. But black is helpful for seeing like bad light, I think. I don't know. Oh, that's my backyard. Just a good morning light coming through. I'm obsessed with morning light. I love it. I think I like this photo the way it is. It might be just a little dark and a little, it's really hard to gauge, honestly. You know, some photographers just have like the best time with editing color, and I just, truthfully, it's always been a difficult job for me. So I just play with things until it looks at least like how it looked. Now these shadows right here, they are deep, but at the same time, like, it's sunrise, and this is what it looked like. And so if I wanted to bring those up, I probably could, but I don't want to do too much because I start getting some weird stuff with there's rust right here on these chairs because I'm lazy and I haven't repainted them yet. Literally in the same, you know, scenario, you have this shot. I love this shot. I love the shadow of the plant right here. I love that the terracotta pot just kind of blends into the wood here. Let's see what I did to this one. So the shadows right here, I pulled the reds. If I pull them down, you see what you get there. You have to be careful because you're dealing with two very similar colors here, so I don't want to cause them to be weird. So sometimes, like, I feel like when I get into these menus, I just do way too much. So okay, we're good there. Just gonna leave it. And these are all taken with a Pentax 6.7, by the way. So you see, this image is really, like the scan. I just did not do a good job on the scan because it is cattywampus. Okay, so this is outside of a church. The sprinklers are going off. I just thought it looked really pretty in the morning light. It just like, it was also like, why are the sprinklers going off? I think we just had a rain the day before, so it just didn't make any sense to me. Next up, this is kind of moving towards 35mm, the Leica MP. And so these images are a little different with editing. You're not getting as much depth of field necessarily. In most cases, some cases are different. And these are going to be way less edited. So these are more of like my actual process. Can't really remember what this place looked like whenever I was walking around, but let's see. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it right there. I don't mind it. I mean, it is a little too magenta, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it there. I like it. It's fine. It's fine. Let's look at it with the white. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, we're just gonna skip this photo because I don't like it that much, and it's got scratches all over it. We're gonna skip that one. We're gonna skip that one too. I like this photo. It didn't really turn out the way I had hoped. Obviously, I've got to flip it. Okay, there we go. And then you see all these scratches right here. Like, obviously I need to get these out. So some of these are just easier to get out than others. Some of them are just like a huge pain. And so I'm not a huge fan of scanning my own film, but I've been doing it during this quarantine because for obvious reasons, I have nothing else to do. So just kind of enjoying that. Okay, I'm gonna leave that as far as this nastiness goes. Okay, and then as far as editing, oh, I see a huge dust thing right there. As far as editing goes, again, this is just playing with it. It's a cloudy day. Your reds are going to be weird when it's cloudy than if it were sunny. Blues and shadows, I'm just leave them right there. Highs, I never mess with highs. I just don't understand what they do. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with highs. Kind of afraid to do that. This might be a good time to just see what the Kodak does. Yeah, see, it just makes it so green and warm, and I'm just not gonna have that. I like the auto color neutral. I like what it does. It just kind of beefs it up a little bit, which is nice. All right, let's do a few more and then we'll call it. Let's see what other images. No, here's a morning image I took of my Chemex. Here's a snake I found in the yard. That was pretty crazy, seeing a snake in your yard. A lot of y'all probably don't live near the woods, so you're not used to the fact that the snakes can be anywhere, anytime. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like I'm just saying things. Okay, and then maybe bring these reds right there. Maybe, I don't know. And then we're gonna maybe crop it in just a little bit so you can actually see the snake better. I don't know. And then I'm going to go down here and add some sharpening to the image just so you can see it. But that's just a fun image. I like the way snakes look. Okay, again, this is a non-judgment zone. We're not going to look at these photos and determine anybody's worth from them. We're just going to accept them as pictures that I took because that's what you do. You run around and you take pictures. And I'm realizing that this video is getting crazy long, so we're gonna wrap this up. By the way, if you haven't heard, we launched a podcast, and our first episode went live today with Corey Wolfenbarger, and I hope you'll give it a listen, and I hope that you will subscribe and listen to others. All right, a few more images here. I don't really care for this image at all. I thought it looked cool. It would have looked better with medium format because basically I focused for the sign, and obviously I'm getting a ton of fringing, but like, what? Okay. I focused for the sign, and yeah, it just, 35 millimeter lens, f2, it just didn't do what I wanted it to do. What I should have done is I should have shot this at like f8. That way it would have been all more in focus. Whatever, you live and you learn. I don't know how this got all weird. Flip vertically, oops, wrong one. Flip horizontally, nope. Flip horizontal, yes, and then rotate. No, I keep screwing this up. Flip horizontally, thank you. This is a little bookshelf I saw at a truck stop. And I'm not even gonna mess with it because I probably not a keeper anyway. This is my daughter when she caught her first fish. She's still kind of learning how to smile and look at cameras without getting impatient. But look at this huge guy that she caught. Wow. It's pretty good. Pretty proud. Proud dad. Oops. Oh well, no one can tell. Okay, then we can get these. Because this is kind of a keeper, so I want to kind of, a lot of these things you really can't tell in the print, so I'm not worried about it. I'm just trying to get it out of her face. Gosh, I can't remember any of these shortcuts. Okay. So yeah, so what I'll probably do is I'll probably go through there and just get all these things out and I'll do that later. This is kind of a weird image. I'm not sure at all what happened here. Going back to this image really quick, like I probably won't leave it colored like this either. It's a little too gross for me. It kind of looks like there's some just nastiness in there. I don't know. It's hard to say. Mids, let's just mess with that a little bit. And if you don't like images, if you don't like the color in your images and you can't get them right, you can always make them black and white. That's for sure. Something weird happened with this photo, because I can tell you one thing's for sure, that this is not supposed to be blue. So what we're gonna do is just kind of look at shadows. Really, I love everything. I think if I'm gonna change anything, it might have to do with it might have to do with that. I like that a lot. Just kind of deepening it a little bit to where it's not so washed out. And I might just go ahead and sharpen it a little bit, just because, like I said, I think I probably shot this at like f 2.8 or something, which what I've learned with those Leica lenses is they're really the most optimal when they're shot at like 5.6 and even like f8. Like they're really the best. And that's actually how the photo's supposed to be. So I think I just scanned it all wrong, honestly. But even though I made this mistake, even though I make mistakes, I still plan to share this photo. So you can look through here and kind of, if you want to, it looks like there might be, I don't know if there's any distortion. There's not supposed to be any distortion with these images, but this just looks like the wilderness. I love this photo. So I'll probably call this one my favorite of this set here. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to check out the podcast. The podcast is currently on YouTube and Spotify. I forgot that it takes time to, get propagated to Apple Podcasts and Stitcher and Overcast, etc. So please be patient with that. But check it out on YouTube. It's there, and you can listen to it while you work from home. So, all right. Thank you guys.